Some of the people that we're going to find or that surface in the community are perhaps elected officials, people that you would recognize, but also in many important cases, there'll be people that perhaps you wouldn't have thought of. And now you're going to rethink that and think about them differently. So that's also another good piece of news, because I don't know about the rest of you, but in my communities, we always need more people. The better minds, the more diverse minds, sometimes the better the solutions. So now, I just wanted to anticipate some of your questions by talking to you about what's involved in this process, so that I can try to give you, at a high level, a lot of the information that's involved around this, and then you can, as we say in New York, talk amongst yourselves and figure out if this is something you'd like to engage in. First, we have to solicit nominations. And how do we do that? Well, we advertise it. We put it out in the newspapers. We get the newspapers to cooperate. We maybe get a couple of radio spots or some television spots, just so that we let people know there's this really cool new initiative. We want to try to find these unsung heroes. I mean, I suppose in another way, we have a national example of that through the CNN heroes. They get nominated, something like that. So we gather nominations from the population, and we have it's what we call a modified snowball. We go as broadly as we can out into the community, and then we get these nominations coming in. And then we ask for you to list their email if you don't mind, and then what we do is after maybe about 1 to 2 months, we'll send out an email to these folks and say, hey, you were nominated by lots of people, and because you were nominated, we'd like you to nominate others. That's the first leg of the modified snowball. And then we might do it again the second time out. So what you're doing is you're going broad and also deeper. Then we analyze that data by question type, and we determine, since this is a volunteer effort, about the only thing that people can really handle is somewhere in the range of about 100 or so people, because we don't do this. We have a little money donated for the technology part of it, and that's it. So we look at the whole list, but we try to understand who these maybe top 100 or so connectors are. Now, clearly, people can get over enthusiastic, shall we say, and keep hitting the enter button for somebody or stuff a ballot box. That's okay, but there's all kinds of techniques for culling data and identifying that, so that that kind of ballot box stuffing or internet gaming the system can be corrected for. So I want to put your minds at ease on that. And so what we end up doing afterwards is we get a pretty solid list. And it can run into the thousands, 5,000 to 10,000, but we can really only have the human resources called time to focus on about the first 100. Then what we do is we think, 100 or so approximately. Then what we ask them to do is we like to have a recognition event where they are recognized in the community. We like to bring them together. We usually try to find a sponsor for that, and then what happens is they come into the event, but they don't know each other, or some of them do, but maybe some of them don't. So before they come in the door, we ask them, actually in a survey similar to what you did, to scan a list of their names and say, could you just check off the people that you know, the people that you don't know, and the people you'd like to know. And we'll ask them maybe 4 questions. It's a very quick survey that they could take, and then they hand that to us, and into the room they go. We typically plan this recognition ceremony. We bring in some speakers or something, it's a cocktail hour. But we plan it for maybe 2 hours. I know in the Philadelphia case, we planned it for 2 hours, and 4 hours later, we were pushing them out the door. Because you know what they were doing? Connecting. There was so much energy in the room from these people, learning from each other, connecting with each other, realizing that they knew somebody, they had all these people that they knew in common, even if they didn't know each other. It was fantastic, and it really transformed these people as well. So that's the purpose of the second half of the study. And then what we do is, then we ask them how they would like to be involved. Do they want to be a part of a mayor's committee or commission? Do they want to help jumpstart long-stalled civic projects? Do they have ideas of their own that they'd like to see organized? And this is a pretty powerful group of people. Once they meet each other, they self-organize and they start to get things done.